Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's talk about a hypothetical scenario that could completely redefine the entire crypto market. A new analysis has been exploring a simple but massive question. What would happen to the price of XRP if the world's top 10 central banks decided to allocate just a small portion of their enormous reserves to it? The results are staggering, suggesting that even a modest level of adoption at this scale could propel XRP to heights that seem almost unimaginable today. Let's break down the math, the likelihood, and what this really means for XRP. First, let's establish where XRP is right now. The token is currently trading at around $2.81, with a circulating supply of approximately 59.4 billion tokens. This gives it a market capitalization of about $172.3 billion, solidifying its position as one of the largest digital assets in the world. But as substantial as that sounds, the analysis suggests that the entry of central banks could completely shatter this valuation. So what are we talking about in terms of numbers? The top 10 central banks, including those in China, Japan, Switzerland, India, Russia, and the United States, hold a combined total of over $13 trillion in reserves. The analysis runs through a few allocation scenarios. If these banks were to allocate just 1% of their reserves, which is around $130 billion, to XRP, the token's market cap would theoretically rise to over $302 billion. This would push the price to approximately $5.09. But let's keep going. A 3% allocation, representing $390 billion, would drive XRP's value to about $9.47. At the upper end of this modest scale, a 5% allocation equal to $650 billion would result in a market cap of more than $822 billion, translating to a token price near $13.84. Now, for the really ambitious outlook, a 10% commitment from central bank reserves, which is roughly $1.3 trillion, could raise XRP's market cap to $1.47 trillion. In this scenario, each XRP coin could be worth around $22.58. That is nearly 8 times its current value. However, and this is a critical point, the analysis itself notes that these figures are based on basic market cap arithmetic. They assume that central bank inflows would translate directly into increased valuation in a linear fashion. In reality, such massive, concentrated buying pressure from institutions of this size would likely create a powerful multiplier effect. The sheer psychological impact of governments endorsing XRP could trigger a buying frenzy among retail and other institutional investors, potentially driving the price well beyond these already lofty projections. The article even suggests that an announcement of a $1 billion government purchase could cause a significant market reaction, making inflows of hundreds of billions far more impactful than the raw numbers suggest. But now, we have to ask the million-dollar, or perhaps trillion-dollar, question. Is there any real chance that these governments will actually hold XRP? The idea is compelling, especially amid a global push for crypto innovation. This year, we've seen unprecedented momentum at the governmental level. For instance, the U.S. government signed into law a bill on stablecoins, which is a historic milestone for crypto legitimacy. Furthermore, the U.S. is working toward establishing a national crypto reserve that could hold up to 1 million BTC, along with a diversified stockpile that includes XRP, Ethereum, Cardano, and Solana. However, the U.S. has not expressed any readiness to purchase cryptocurrencies beyond Bitcoin. In other major countries like Russia and China, most discussions around crypto have focused on Bitcoin and stablecoins, which are often viewed as tools to promote their local currencies rather than adopting a neutral asset like XRP. The data shows that the current institutional focus is overwhelmingly on Bitcoin. Governments that currently hold crypto are almost exclusively holding BTC. Countries such as the US, China, the UK, Ukraine, Bhutan, and El Salvador collectively hold 517,298 BTC, worth over $56.76 billion. Altcoins like XRP remain very much in the background for now. So what's the final takeaway? This analysis brilliantly highlights the potentially earth-shattering impact that institutional adoption, especially at the sovereign level, could have on an asset like XRP. The math shows that even a small allocation from central banks could send the price soaring. However, It is crucial to understand that this scenario remains highly speculative. As it stands, Bitcoin is the clear and only candidate for large-scale government adoption in the foreseeable future. It is the established store of value, the digital gold. For XRP to win this kind of attention, it would need to prove a compelling utility case that surpasses even that of Bitcoin. While it's a fascinating thought experiment, investors should focus on the real-world utility and adoption that is happening today, rather than banking on a sovereign miracle. What do you think? Could XRP ever become a central bank reserve asset? Or is this pure fantasy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this discussion, please give the video a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.